Good evening. This is the Owen James Report. The Bank of Jamaica is reporting that primarily due to weak domestic demand and slow global recovery, headline inflation for the June quarter was 1.2%, or well below its own forecast range of 2 to 3% for the June quarter. However, addressing journalists at his quarterly briefing today, the Bank of Jamaica Governor Brian Wynter was more cautious about the outlook for the September quarter and the fiscal year, forecasting an inflation rate within a band of 2 to 3% for the September quarter and up to 10.5% for the full fiscal year.
We are expecting domestic prices to reflect the impact of higher international commodity prices, particularly crude oil, and also, of course, the pass-through of exchange rate depreciation. The seasonal increases in the prices of domestic agricultural produce will also contribute, we expect, to inflation for this period.
The central bank governor is also cautiously optimistic on real GDP growth of up to 1% for the next quarter and indeed the full fiscal year. So why the cautious optimism for real growth?
Real GDP growth is projected to improve based on improved investor confidence, continued expansion in the global economy, albeit a slow recovery, it continues to expand, and more robust growth in credit to the private sector, which will take place in the context of the reduced demand for credit that has normally in the past been imposed by the public sector. And that reduced demand, as you would appreciate, comes from the fiscal consolidation that is the center point of the fiscal aspects of the program.
In respect of Jamaica's net international reserves, the central bank governor projects a seasonal fall in the NIR during the September quarter, while at the same time projecting that the NIR would still be above the target agreed with the IMF. In related news, tomorrow, amid news that Jamaica comfortably met the monetary targets in the extended fund facility with the IMF, a joint IMF Ministry of Finance press conference is being held at the ministry. On the foreign exchange market, amid continued high demand and moderate supply conditions, the benchmark American dollar gained 9 cents Jamaican, closing at a new record high average selling rate of $102.03 Jamaican. The other two regularly traded foreign currencies also strengthened against the Jamaican dollar. The Canadian dollar strengthened by 39 cents Jamaican to close at $98.65, whilst the British pound sterling gained 23 cents to close at a new high of $160.09. As losers outperformed winners by 13 to 9, with blue chips such as Grace Kennedy, Sagicor Life Jamaica and Scotia Group faltering, the Jamaican indices fell. The main JC index lost over 462 points, or 0.5%. Winners included Caribbean Cement, Lime, the day's big winner, up almost 6%, NCB, and Sagicor Investments. The losers included Blue Power, Grace Kennedy, Jamaican Teas, Kingston Wharves, the three Lasco companies, Sagicor Life Jamaica, and Scotia Group. Now finally, in an act of philanthropy, the Grace Kennedy Foundation today presented over 20 students whose parents work with the company with bursaries under the annual Carlton Alexander Bursaries Program. The bursaries are worth over $2.5 million. And that's the Owen James Report. Good evening.